Now that you've basically had Chase for pretty much an entire year, just how have you seen him grown, and maybe what stood out to you more with him than any other quality he's shown you?
Well, I think obviously the skill set coming in was great. I think the way he arrived on the scene, kind of serious about his work and fitting in with his teammates, was like exactly what you hope for. And then I think the biggest surprise, just something I didn't really anticipate, is how much of a leader he is, how inspirational he is. I mean, he loves football, he loves his teammates, and all you have to do is watch him. Watch him during practice, watch him on game day. He loves ball, and I think it's infectious.
And I know you have bigger fish to fry, but do you think he's deserving of the Defensive Rookie of the Year award?
I'd vote for him, but I'm biased. But bottom line is he's had a nice start to his career. He's going to work hard, and he wants to be a great player in this league, and he's on his way. So I'm really glad that we have him.
Not sure if Sam Fortier is on, but if he is not, we'll go to Matt Paris.
Hey, Jack, just following up on what you're saying about Chase's leadership, just what did you make of him being?
Matt, you muted yourself.
Oh, no, I pulled a Russell. That's terrible. So just following up on Chase's leadership, just with him being named captain, does that kind of reflect those leadership attributes?
Yeah, it does. I think, it's rare that it happens with a young player as quickly as it had, but he's just so genuine. He does lead, and he leads the right way. So I think it's a well-deserved honor for him.
And he's forced a few fumbles here, especially lately, but pretty consistent throughout the year. Is there something about his game that allows him to be particularly successful at that?
Yeah, I think overall awareness. He's got length, and he uses it. We talk about not just getting back there, but looking for opportunities to take the football off people, and it comes very natural for him. When I say natural, I mean it's something he works at. But I think that's just going to be a part of his game.
Thanks.
Let's go Nikki, and then Rhiannon, and then Ben. I see you guys all on here.
Hi, Jack. I know you've worked with a number of good pass rushers and pairs from your time in Denver, Oakland, Jacksonville. How do Chase and Montez not stack up, but are they comparable to any guys you've worked with in the past?
Well, Nikki, I would just say, they're a good pair. They're both young players. Some of the other guys that I've had over the years, it's sure great to have guys that can generate some rush off the edge, and I appreciate those guys, and not just for being effective at rushing the quarterback, but for setting the edge for our defense. I mean, a lot of what we do is dependent on those guys being able to be forceful at the edge, not just play the edge, and they do that. And so I like the pair we have here right now, and I don't want to get in trying to rank them, compare them, and all that, but I would just say that they're two young players that have gotten better through the course of this season and should get better through the course of their career.
And with Ryan Kerrigan, did anything, surprise you about working with him this year? Anything stand out to you? I mean, what was your experience like?
Yeah, Ryan's a fine young man, been a good player for a long time. He's been very productive in the time that he's played and in the snaps that he's had for us on this season and throughout his career. And so, you just admire a guy like Ryan and the way he conducts himself every day as a pro.
Hi, Jack. Happy Turnover Thursday. And kind of in line with that, I've noticed that Cameron Curl has just seemingly been around the ball of recently. Like, I know that the fumble was blown dead by the whistle, but I believe he was the one who actually punched it out on the play where the running back fumbled it. And then, of course, he was the recipient of Chase Young's pressure, forcing the interception or forced fumble, whatever it was. What is it? I guess go to a guy consistently being around the ball that way, having a nose for the ball that way, and I guess how do you identify those kind of players when you make that assessment, especially a late round pick like him?
Yeah, you'd like to be successful in all of your picks like that, right? But he has a nose for the ball, and he plays with great awareness. He's an intelligent player. He's a versatile player, and you look at the different roles that we put him in, and for a rookie to be able to just understand where to be and to play it all is one thing. And he's played very, very well and really taken advantage of the opportunities he's been given. So. Yeah, I don't know if there's a formula for it. I just think when you're evaluating, you're looking for guys that can, do different things and bring different qualities to your team. And I like the mentality he brings. I mean, he's kind of he's just calm. He's intelligent. He's aware. And guys that are aware and hustle and get to the football are going to find themselves coming up with turnovers.
And then sort of segue on that, what does it do for defense when you have a guy like a Jimmy Moreland or a Kendall Fuller? I've noticed them throughout the season. Whenever there's a screen thrown anywhere near their direction, Jimmy especially, it seems that he's very able to kind of blow it up all by himself, usually even if he's still being blocked, or I've noticed it with Kendall Fuller as well too. What does it do for defense to have guys out there on the edge that you can trust can, basically blow up a screenplay like that and or create enough commotion that the guys can rally?
Yeah, that means they get to play. Because that's what we need him to do. He's doing his job, and he's done it. He's done it well, and we're gonna be challenged again this week. They do some things that way, trying to get the ball out and get the receivers and skill people the ball in space. And so we need our guys to know how to leverage and how to attack it. And he's those guys have done Kendall, Jimmy, and others throughout the year for the most part have handled that part of today's NFL offenses, which you're going to see.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Ben? Okay, Chris Russell, go ahead.
Hey, Jack, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you and your family. Obviously a lot has changed for Philadelphia since the week 1 win, and you guys struggled in like the first quarter and a half, and then you cranked it up and shut them down. But how much has their offense, I guess, in general changed? And obviously, I know the quarterback. And Ron, yesterday, when I asked him who Jalen Hurts kind of reminds him of, he said Russell Wilson. And obviously, I know he's not there, but who does he remind you of?
Well, he reminds me of a good football player. I don't know that I would make Russell Wilson comparisons at this point. I think what he's saying in that is that this is a guy that can extend plays and that will take off and run with the football. So he is mobile. I followed Jalen since his days back at Bama. This is a tough young man. He's handled tough situations in life really admirably. I just have a lot of respect for the way he conducted himself then, the way he has thus far, in his career. And this is the kind of guy that you root for when you're not playing against him. But you got to admire, some of these qualities that he's shown, some of the toughness and some of the dependability and the accountability and those things. So a lot of respect for him as the type of young man he is. Okay. He brings a skill set that he has feet, has the ability to extend plays, has a strong arm and does those things. So obviously, their team has got a little bit of a lift from him over the last couple of weeks, and we're going to need to make sure we get him slowed down.
And sorry for the long-winded original question. Just obviously it's changed at the quarterback spot, but how, I guess, has that had an impact on anything else that you see in terms of, their offense evolving? Do they use Rager a little bit more than maybe they did early on in the year? Do you see anything that is dramatically different?
Well, the biggest differences are, the option, the option football that's part of it, where the quarterback is reading the defensive end. It's always been part of their offense with a zone read, but now they're doing other types of read principles. And so they're creating things that you've got to be able to handle. as a defense. We're working hard to get that dialed in right now, and we'll be ready to compete Sunday night. But we know that he brings a different element to their offense, and they've structured their offense to suit his talents.
Thanks, Jack.
You bet.
Hey, Jack. Sorry if somebody's already asked about Ronald Darby, but just kind of curious. Obviously, he was one of the new pieces to this defense. Obviously, you were also new. A lot of people were new, but with him was a lot of uncertainty about what you would get out of him over a full season. He's obviously been one of the more consistent performers you've had. What's been your takeaway being with him for over the course of the year, and what do you kind of basically just that. What's been your take on him throughout this year?
Yeah, well, he's a good young man. He's been able to stay healthy for us, which when he's been healthy, he's played good football. So, that was the biggest thing. He'd been nicked up a few times and wasn't able to always be out there, but he's been out there for us now. This will be a full season. He's been dependable. He's been productive, and he's been a good teammate. So, he's been a great addition for us, and I'm glad that we have him. And, so it's been a really good year for him.
And you were able to add Darby and Kendall Fuller this offseason. You had some inherited pieces as well. Were the cornerbacks ultimately kind of, were you able to use them the way you would like to in your defense? And is there something going forward, like is the next step for this group in the way you want to play defense?
Yeah, I mean, our defense, we're going to take advantage of the people that we have and available, and we're going to do the best we can to, play in a way that gets us the ball back for the offense. I mean, the biggest thing is to get stops, whether it's third down, whether it's creating turnovers, whether it's in the red zone, you've got to find a way to get the ball back for your offense. And so, whoever we have, we're going to put together a plan to utilize the talents that we have at the front, with the linebackers, with the DBs, and how it all works together. And we may load up the D line one week and say we need more from you this week. We may load up the DBs on another week and say we need more from you here. And so we kind of mix it, put a plan together for each opponent. And over the course of the year, you see different things, different ways of being that we deploy guys and different coverages that we'll want to play and different fronts. And that's just part of how we put it all together. But, in terms of the DBs and questions specifically about Darby and Fuller and those guys, they've been smart, they've been tough, they've been reliable. And, we've been able to collectively play real good defense here all year.
Thank you.
Last one, John Keim.
Hey, Jack, with guys with a quarterback like Jalen Hurts and that style, how have you seen that style of quarterback evolve even in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and how offenses use them to tap into more of that versatility? And obviously the zone reads part of that, but what other ways are part of that where they tap into that versatility and scare the heck out of coordinators?
Yeah, I don't know if it's scare the heck out of us, but it makes you yearn for that 12th guy. You'd like to have that extra defender, because that's what they're doing. It's like wildcat all the time. You've got a guy that can run, and then they give you these formations and make you adjust to them, and then it's hard to have the full box when you want a full box, and some of those challenges that you have. But that's football, man. They get 11, we get 11. Even though I'm fighting for 12, I like to have 12, but we each get 11, and we get to go out there and we'll put a plan together and look to slow them down. And obviously, it's a different set of challenges over the last 5 or 6 years. It's become more and more part of what we're dealing with.
And is the threat of all that, is it bigger with some of the design stuff, or when they are out of the pocket? Which one is the tougher one to defend, with whether it's not having that 12th guy or out of the pocket and improvising?
Well, the biggest thing is what you can't really plan for, and that's just when a guy is more athletic than somebody who's chasing them. And so when you have those situations come up, you've got to rally and get them down and go to the next play. So that can happen from time to time when you have a mobile guy, and that's just part of it. So, but it's a chess match. It's one that I enjoy. It's part of what we do as coaches is, work and plan and try and give our guys an advantage, and they're working hard to create advantages for themselves. So that's the chess match as part of what football's become.